Typhus, disgustingly resilient, 7-drop mask, an 8/8 on top, 2/8/8, range 2. Can we agree that range 2 is bad for a 7-drop? That's not nearly impactful enough. I gave this one an F. No, excuse me. I gave this one a D. You gave this one an F.
I was not kind to Typhus.
The next Typhus is Host of the Destroyer Hive. 6-drop attune. That's an F.
And my comment was just nope.
That is a total F. All right, Typhus Nurgle's Gift. While Typhus is active, prevent the first point of damage to you from each source each turn. We've talked about this ability. It was printed on Mortarion, just worded differently. It's not worth it. But this is on a 6-drop versus that 7-drop, right? I think.
Yeah, but that had global, right?
Might have. Yeah, the +1 defense. Yeah. You gave this one an F plus as well, right? No, you gave this one an F.
Straight up F.
I gave this one a D minus. It's not very good. Hey, all right, we're at the last character of the set. Vero Tigurius, Chief Librarian, 4-drop. When fielded, prep a die from your bag.
I was mean to this, actually. I was just in a bad mood after the Typhus.
After you look at Typhus.
I gave this an F,
no.
but this is okay. Why?
I don't think it's okay. I think it's subpar, and I think I stand by that. It is definitely subpar.
It's definitely like, that's just way better Winfielded Prepper Die characters.
100%. It's like a C minus. I think it's a C minus.
Yeah. I agree, but
because you get some benefit from it, and it's worth picking up in a draft because you do get some benefit from it, and you need that edge. Vero Tigurius, Hood of Hellfire, the 3-drop version, says when fielded, name a non-sidekick die, then draw a die. If it was the named die, prep it. Then the fielded Vero Tigurius die gets +2/+2. Otherwise, return the drawn die to your bag. So, best case scenario, you pull a die that you named that was non-sidekick, and you get a 5/7 for 3. Maybe you a rare absorbing man and pull 2 dice, and then you get the double buff for that sweet meme action.
I gave this a D plus because I think putting this on a Professor X team, an old school PXG global,
you know what you're getting.
Have no sidekicks. This on turn 3 is pretty good. Because you can basically take all your psychics out. You know what you're buying. You're going to field this. You're going to prep that die. It's going to go through because your opponent's going to have no characters. Yep. They're saving all the psychics to spam.
You just dealt 5. Hooray. And then that's a quarter of their life down, you know? It's a fun little card that's C minus in my book. Let's talk about this one, Rod of Tigurius, of which I've actually put on a team already and tried out, and it's fun. While Chief Librarian Tigurius is active, so we'll just ignore the fact that they didn't call it Vero and just move on. Well, your other Space Marine character dice cannot be targeted by your opponents. Awesome.
Yep.
So character dice, again, not character card or anything. So you mentioned Shriek can still target this, but range can't, which is super cool. So you have one-sided range, but it's hard to KO him because Vero Tigurius gets +1/+1 for each other active Space Marine character you control. So if you had him, Primaris Intercessor, you had Primaris Aggressor because you want that sweet ramp action from a bunch of range characters. And you have a couple of random 2-drop things, right? This card is pretty cool.
This is really good. This is really strong. Anything that kind of stops your opponent from targeting your stuff is very, very good and very oppressive to your opponent because they have to basically spend their Shriek target to target this, which is great if you know you're going to play against Shriek. This card arguably makes the Space Marines maybe a viable team.
So this card to me is
this is a win condition, right? You just stack up all the Space Marines in your field.
I love this card. This is one of my favorites of the set, and this is one of my favorites in the entirety of Warhammer. And it makes me want to play a lot of Space Marines teams. I gave this a B/B+.
I gave it a B+. Yep.
All right, you ready? We're gonna move on to some of the best cards in the set. Basic actions.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, the actions are where it's at. So let's slip over to Bolter Drill. What do you think about Bolter Drill? Why don't you read Bolter Drill for us?
Yeah, so deal damage to target opposing character die equal to the number of character dice you control. On a burst or double burst, also deal that character die 1 additional damage. That's 2 cost. 2 cost removal. Yeah, super good.
Yeah, and it's counting character dice. So you had 3 sidekicks and you play this, you deal 3.
I mean, the worrying thing is your opponent gets it as well, right?
Yep.
That's the bad part. But it's super strong. I don't know.
It really is. Yeah. It's solid. Like you run this and you wipe Shriek all the time.
To make this action better, you want to do something you're doing anyway in the game.
There's a fielding
You want to
stuff.
be getting your characters out in the field.
Yeah.
2 cost C+, but I mean I could definitely see why someone would give it a B, but yeah.
But I give it a C+ as well to kind of go with yours. Totally. Next up, we have Chaos Warp. Here we go. 3-drop. Draw and roll every die in your bag. Deal 1 damage to target player for each die showing a character face that you roll, and take 1 damage for each die showing an energy face that you roll. Place the rolled dice back to your used pile. Also, afterwards, place a die from your used pile into your bag, and that's on the double burst face. So 1 out of 6 times, you get to prep one thing, or basically prep one thing.
I gave it a C+ without the double burst, and with that double burst, I'm giving it a B now.
B. He's going really B. Good.
So cards like this are very good anyway, in my opinion. So stuff like Creative Food and Water and Xavier's School.
Yeah.
Emptying out your bag and putting stuff into your use pile is very strong. Ways of resetting your bag so you can manipulate it more, so you can pull things out when you need to. Then added to that is kind of this risk-reward thing, which I quite like.
I love the risk-reward thing.
And it's always going to deal your opponent more damage than it is you, on average, as long as you don't have your sidekicks, right? As long as you can clear out sidekicks, on average, your opponent's going to take more damage than you.
I really want this card to be fun. Like, I want it to be, but I just know the moment that I pick it up, purchase it, and then use it, I'm just going to deal myself 5 and watch all my stuff go to used. Like that carefully crafted bag where you just like get, okay, this is what I'm going to roll. Here comes Chaos Warp, and then it just all goes. It all just goes to the used, and you're just sitting there with 5 less health. I gave it an F because I just don't ever see it actually going the way I want, but I really want it to work.
But my dream is you have Mr. Miracle in the field, okay?
Okay.
You have Boomerang. You have Vicious Struggle, and you have this. And it's just beautiful because you just deal 2 damage. And then every time you take damage, you deal it back to them. It's so good.
Oh, that would be funny. That would be funny, except I hate you because you just said Vicious Struggle, and
but the Vicious Struggle and Chaos Warp is a legit card you can run. That's a combo.
It's a combo,
as long as Luke Cage is not there, that's fine.
We're talking about Excessive Ordnance. 4-drop, deal 6 to target character. Pay 1 bolt, target character die gets +1 attack. So it's a bolt fix or a bolt pump.
Great global.
Yeah, great global.
And a useful die.
And a useful die. This is essentially pay 4. Play it, KO whatever you want. Yeah, no, this card's awesome. I like it. I gave it a C+, right? What did we give it?
Yeah, I gave it a C.
I would give it a C+, because, yeah, you'd slap it. Maybe even better than that. Maybe it's one of those things that you do heavily consider because it's a bolt pump.
That global is great, yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably be higher than that. Read Instant War. Oh, it's not the only A in the set.
Instant War, so 3 cost. Each player draws 3 dice and fields all sidekick dice drawn this way. Each player places the remaining dice in their bag or use pile.
There's so many reasons why this is a yes.
Mainly because of Chaos Warp, right? You want to thin the bag from
there
sidekicks.
You go. You need the Chaos Warp combo.
Here we go.
That's part of the reason you need Chaos Warp. So that you can instant war your stuff out and then boom. What are the things that this is good with?
My favorite one is Green Devil Mask.
Green Devil Mask. That's a great starting one.
It's so fun.
So Mimic, yeah, that would be just disgusting. But you don't need PXG if you decide to run this card because that's just overkill. You just buy this and throw Mimic on there and then you're there. It's not as consistent, but you roll everything, period. Jubilee is the other one that was mentioned, and that was the other one that we thought of. Jubilee, obviously.
Just another one, the Enchantress, where when your opponent fields a character, deal all their other characters 1 damage. Yeah, do this. Potentially all their field takes 3 damage.
Okay, Ragnarok / the Tsar Colossus that KOs all sidekicks and deals damage directly.
There's also the Huntress, which does a similar thing to the Enchantress, where when they field a character, deal one of their characters 1 damage.
Danger Room and Nobby.
Yeah.
You throw more stuff in the field, whether they wanted to or not, and now all of a sudden it's OTK. Venerable Dreadnought plus the Dreadnought range ramp.
Yeah, that's horrific.
You get 3 attack, three new attackers that can trigger range, and then 3 things that you can KO with range to prep 3 dice. This card's so good. This card's amazing, and that's just looking at modern age stuff and like inset stuff.
This is by far the best card in this campaign box.
Yeah. There's no chance. There's nothing that competes with this on sheer power level alone. You may like something for fun or for like enjoyment factor or for like memes or whatever, but this card is like, you slap it on a team, you're just gonna win if you can manage things the right way, and it does so many different things. It's so versatile.
The other thing is, if you have a team that runs on this, your opponent is going to not benefit from buying it. Like, what's your opponent going to do? Make you field 3 sidekicks and you do 3 burn damage with Jubilee?
Hooray! Exactly. Into battle, 4-drop. Prep 2 dice from your bag. If both dice are sidekick dice, prep an additional die. And then on the double burst and the regular burst, roll all dice prepped this way. So you cannot use this with the spot because it preps first. It does not draw and roll. So.
Yeah, and I like the way they're doing this. Kind of like, they had the initial gearing up, and now they've just done various shades of that, right? So you have relaxing, you have this, you have the one from
got SRA,
Infinity. Infinity, where you roll 1 for each of the different types of energy characters you have. There's stuff, right? And so this is just another shade of that.
Yeah.
Again, if your opponent probably isn't going to buy these out straight away, which might be nice.
Yeah, no, totally. We both gave it a C+.
Yep.
Closing things around, we got a couple left. We've got Might of the Astartes. Until the beginning of your next turn, character dice cost your opponents 1 more to field. Character dice cost you 1 less to field. This does stack as well, which is interesting because it's a 2-drop. Your opponent has access to it, so that's less interesting. But
I like it. I give it C+.
The fact that you can stack this, and so your opponents have to pay 2 more to field anything, makes it basically your opponents can't field anything on that turn, and that is very powerful.
Yes, your opponent can do that to you.
They can definitely do it to you, unless you're running some sort of an action-based team, in which case you don't care.
That's true.
A la like you wanted to make a boom boom control version, something like that. I think it's cool. I gave it a B. I thought that highly of it. Maybe I was just super hyped from the instant war high that you get, just like that itch,
No, I definitely think if this was a non-basic action, it would definitely be a B. Just the fact that your opponent can buy it as well. Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting to see how quickly these guys get bought up at the beginning of the game. I mean, I would probably buy one of these turn 2 or 3 if my opponent was buying them.
Exactly, just to pick one up so that your opponent can't buy all 3. Totally. Orbital Strike. 4-drop. Reroll all your active character dice. Deal damage to target opponent equal to the combined attack of all rolled dice, showing character faces. KO the rest of the rolled dice, and then skip your attack step this turn. On the double burst, though, instead of skipping your attack step, you may attack with only 1 character die this turn. Only 1 character dice this turn.
That's such a stupid burst. That's such a wind-up double burst in that.
I'm sorry, but this card is one of my favorites in the set. So cool. In the entire, this is the memeiest of all of the cards in this set. I can't think of a more meme card. This and Chaos Warp hit that one spot in my heart. Yep. They're just so hilarious. This card in and of itself creates a completely new variant of a way you could play Dice Masters. Just call it Orbital Strike variant. You cannot attack. Every turn you must Orbital Strike and just see what happens. This is, especially in draft, like, you can't vault over giant walls. So just get lucky, re-roll all of your stuff, and deal 6 or 7 or whatever, and you're good.
See, my mind went to, like, when KO'd abilities.
No, me too. I tried that as well.
I think that my thing is the dupe. The dupe with the when KO'd, you capture one of their die until the start of your next turn.
Yeah.
So you do this, you clear up their field with that. Maybe you get 6 damage out of it because you have 6 attack on one face, and then they're losing their characters for next turn as well.
Totally.
So they can't swing back at you.
This is a super funny card.
Bunch of stuff, with momentum as well. That could be super good.
I didn't even give, I'll be honest, I did not even give this a rating. I just put meme next to the rating spot because this is the super memeiest card, and I love it so much.
I give it a good old-fashioned C brackets B+.
There you go.
This is super fun.
Give it the 2.
This is going on my teams. You're going to, like, one time, one game, you're going to do a ridiculous, you're going to do, like, 40 damage off this thing. and then the next game you're going to do maybe 1 damage. And
exactly. Rolling Thunder, 5-drop. It's the Mjolnir ability.
Yeah, it's okay. 5 costs too much.
5 costs is way too much. It's not worth it.
This is the worst action.
It's an F. I would never play this. It doesn't even have a global to make it better. It's a 5-drop F. It's an F. What do you give it?
A D, but yeah, it's targeted removal, which is good.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Seething Corruption, 4-drop. It's staff. Your opponent can buy it, but they're not, getting the access of the trigger.
Combo of Staff and Danger Room, right? I think this is probably, they've refined both of those into a die that's probably going to see a lot of play.
Yeah, I think so. I like this card too, because you can buy multiples of it, so I give it a B.
Yep.
It makes a team.
I give it a B as well.
You build a team for this because it's a win condition.
Yeah, this is for sure going to go on people's teams. People are going to mess around with this.
Yep. In fact, after we're done, before I go to bed, I'm probably going to try to find another way to build a Seething Corruption team with some of the other things we mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. And finally, Static Field. 2-drop, character dice, deal only 1 combat damage this turn. Also, it's got the global, pay a mask, remove target attacking character die from the combat, which is the reason you would run this.
Yep.
Only reason. Character dice, deal only 1 combat damage this turn, doesn't do anything.
Maybe you just want to use it because you can always use it for a Yanti team.
Yeah, right. That's the reason, because it never has any drawback.
Like momentum, sometimes you can't use it.
You can't use it. And then, what was the other one? Improvised weapon, you can't use it. You play it for the global, and it's that.
You do.
You play it for the global. All right, so that's the entirety of the box. That's everything you're getting. How does that make you feel? What are your thoughts?
Lots of good stuff for casual play. Some cool combo teams with the Space Marines. Probably the Plague Marines as well has some cool pieces that you can make. You could probably make a good Plague Marines versus Space Marines team. You could do that pretty easily. I think Space Marines probably have it with that card that makes them untargetable.
I don't know, but Swarm is a good ramp engine in limited,
and you have the one that just pings right whenever you field them.
Yeah, and then you just get the one that's got all the buffs based on how many Poxwalker, 2-cost Swarm Poxwalker that also buffs itself.
So it'd be a fun little battle there.
Very thematic.
Awesome, amazing basic action cards in this set.
I totally agree. I think this is a really fun, thematic, casual to semi-competitive box full of goodies that you want to bust out and throw together rather than try to piece together from other sets. I think if WizKid's job goal was to go to a Warhammer player, hand them this box and say, hey, check out all these cool Warhammer things that work together, then they more than accomplished it. And they dangled out a couple of little nuggets, for the more competitive player to just grab onto and go with. And I love it.
I'm super pumped to draft this as a campaign box.
Yes, that would be great. All right, give me your top 3 favorite cards from this set, and I'm going to do my best to kind of show them on screen.
Plague Marine.
What's your first one?
Of Death and Disease.
All right, I'm going to throw it up on screen so people can see. Where did I put this spot? I just had it open. Yeah, it is hilarious. It's also good. Yep. It's also just really good, especially if, like we said, something gets printed where it's like, if your character dice get KO'd, there it is, right?
I really like this card. I think it's just a really cheap 2-cost fist. Yeah, exactly. Excellent. Orbital Strike is my second.
Yes. It's a win con too. I mean, that's what's great about that. But yes, Orbital Strike. Let's talk about that again, because that card's amazing.
Bonkers, risk heavy.
Look, we're playing a dice game, right?
I know. Absolute brilliant way to trigger KO effects, which are super fun.
Totally.
To trigger most of the time. Could win you the game. Could win
you the game. Exactly. And that's why you love it.
Hilarious, yeah.
And what's your final?
And then the Malignant Plague Caster, Blades of Putrefaction. Yes.
Such a cool little subtitle. Blades of Putrefaction.
Yeah, I just think this one. I really like the Rare Batman, and I like the oppressive kind of nature of making your opponent save a bunch of energy if they want to protect their stuff. And like I said before, the stats. I just really like the stats for when fielded.
And then cycle it, because you push with it. They don't let it through, because if they do, they're taking a quarter or more of health.
And they've lost most of their level 1 and level 2 characters.
Yep.
So they like with level 3 characters that probably have more than two attack.
My top 3 include Plague Marine, Vectors of Death and Disease. It's a 2-drop win con. It's a 2-drop Malekith that has a hilarious downside, which I guess isn't that bad of a downside because at least you roll a bunch of dice.
Yeah.
Or you push damage through. Orbital Strike is my number 2 because Orbital Strike is amazing. That card is so fun.
Yep.
We've talked about it enough because it's just so fun. And my final one is one we talked about a lot too, is this Vero Rod of Tigurius. Just because it's a 3-drop that pushes a team from really sort of casual understanding. Like we view this Space Marines team as very casual, very thematic, very fun for someone who just loves, the lore and that sort of thing to put together and just imagine while they play. But this card makes it to where you could take that team, still enjoy it in that same way, play several different meta teams, and go a little bit toe-to-toe with it. Because this card's good.
Yep.
And it makes it hard to deal with some of those other cards. So, yeah. This is a sweet card. So I think with that, I think it's time for us to sign off. Do you want to say anything to the people watching?
Yes. Hello and goodbye.
There you go. I like that. Hello and goodbye. I'll say the same thing. I'll say hello and goodbye. Hello and goodbye. The stream is no longer starting at 5 minutes. The stream is now over.